Good evening, everyone. I'm Kamya Rawat, your host for today's event. A very warm welcome to everyone from the Reverr community. It's great to have you all back with us, and moreover, exciting to see so many new faces today. I'm quite sure that everyone out here had marked their calendar and saved this date for our most exciting event. Hold back as the wait is over. We are here with a new episode of our very own series, From Side Hustles to CEO. I'll give you all a brisk recap of our previous episodes for the people who are joining us for the first time. The debut episode featured Mr. Jatin Khurana, the CEO and founder of Reverr, who generously shared his time and enlightened us about his entrepreneurial journey and the obstacles that come with it. The second episode starred Mrs. Vandala Tunani, the founder and CEO of Convanto, and packed with thought provoking conversation. Finally, in the last episode, we had the privilege of interacting with Mr. Hamid Hassan, the founder and CEO of AdJobster. The first episode is already uploaded on YouTube and we'll be uploading every episode every Friday. So stay tuned. It's my great honor and pleasure to introduce to you a very special guest today, Mr. Tushar Kansal, the founder and CEO of Consultancy Ventures. Over the years, Mr. Tushar has supported startups and growth stage companies in diverse tech and non-tech sector. He is a venture advisor with Loyal VC, the INSEED-led Canadian VC fund, having over 300 plus portfolio investments in 15 plus sectors in 50 plus countries. He received executive education from Harvard Business School, an MBA in finance from the University of Delhi, and BTech from the Technological Institute of Textile and Sciences, affiliated to the UK Institute Manchester, and part of the leading industrial and education house in India, the Birla Group. He is the mentor and speaker of entrepreneurial cells of IITs and IIMs and global institutions. His expert opinion is often sought by leading business news channels, publications like CNN News 18, Venture Capital TV, Business World, Business and Economy, Digital Market Asia because of his expertise in financial and business advisory. He was awarded as the best startup supporter at Indian First Tech Startup Conclave by All Indian Council of Robotics and Automation from Dr. Kiran Bedi, as the Business Leader of the Year in Investment Management by Asian African Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and as the Entrepreneur of the Year 2022 by Business Connect magazine. We extend a warm welcome to you, sir, and are honored to have you here with us today. Your presence is an immense privilege, and we would have honored to have you here with us today. Your presence, we would be very grateful if you could share your journey and insights with us. We are very sure that your inception will be here and inspiration to many. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on your podcast. And I know Reverr since not very long ago, but tremendously impressed by the work you guys are doing, and especially what Jatin is doing. And my congratulations to the whole team as well. Thank you for having me on your podcast today.
Thank you, sir. That was one of the most enlightening sessions I've ever attended, I swear. The story was indeed so empowering and uplifting. We want the audience to have the chance to learn from your journey. So let's kick off the question and answer round. With that said, please feel free to post your questions in the chat box and we'll address them one at a time. Till then, I have a few questions for you, sir. Let's start with the first one.
Sure, definitely.
Yes. Tell us something about your background, sir. What instance or event in your life led you to choose the journey of an entrepreneur, and how was it shaped your life and perspective?
Well, I started doing business quite early. And after my MBA, in finance from University of Delhi. I started a coaching institute because I myself studied from Vidya Mandir, the three brothers who used to teach, and I saw the passion with which they were teaching and how they went about, uh, teaching. And I thought that the entrance market is was truly underserved at that point in time. Um, the incident which shaped me was attending Vidya Mandir, and then later on, when I was studying for MBA, then I happened to join Career Launcher, which was um, a new institution which had come up for MBA entrance coaching. And again, I studied from Shiv Kumar and all the founders. It was, these those were very exciting times. Um, and after that, a point came where I sold off my business. I got an opportunity to sell it at a good price. So I got my first exit in my life fairly early in 2006. And then I joined the corporate jobs because I thought that I wanted to fine tune my finance, which I had learned from MBA. My corporate career is like Deloitte and Touche, all the good names, Brand Capital, which is the venture arm of Times of India Group, and Aircel Treasury, which was a 15,000 crore treasury. I was in the central treasury based in Gurgaon. And then I was heading the corporate finance and treasury of the Russian telecom company MTS. Raised almost $2.5 billion for them in funding. Then I was again fortunate to have worked as a CFO of a 1,500 crore company, Distribution Logistics, which was owned by Guggenheim Partners, the $200 billion American private equity fund. So when I did these jobs, um, I saw that, doing the job is like, um, you have to align yourself with the company's mission and vision, but there is a lot which goes in between. A lot of meetings which don't make any sense, a lot of work you do, you know that it is not making any sense, but end of the day you are spending time on it because you have to be in the good books of your boss. And I have been an original thinker, and that made me think that I'm wasting a lot of time. I'm not demeaning those people who do jobs, but the only job which will satisfy you is one which you do as an entrepreneur, in which you take responsibility, you understand what the company is doing, and you try to align your department and your work in line with the company's work. And believe me, 90% of the people who do a job never really understand what the company is doing. They just know only what their department is doing. And if you ask them anything about the market and how the company is doing, they don't have any sense about it. So that's what made me choose entrepreneurship. I wanted um, to align myself with a larger vision. And entrepreneurship is not a destination; it's a journey. And I have had failed businesses under my work, and that has taught me the value of entrepreneurship in the right way. And in our schools, the entrepreneurship is not promoted, and we are not taught go and open a business. We are always taught study and achieve numbers and then do a job in a top company. And so entrepreneurship is not encouraged. So when I did entrepreneurship, I really learned what it means, and the kind of uh, the passion it generates for me. So that is why I chose entrepreneurship and carried it forward.
That was indeed a great, inspiring journey, sir. Moving on to the next question. What was the biggest challenge you have faced in an entrepreneurial journey and how did you overcome it? What were your major lessons from the low point?
Well, you have to handle many things individually when you start entrepreneurship. You have to do things with your own hands. But if you are doing that, and if you keep a corporate mindset, like a lot of resources and easy, easy money kind of mindset, then freeloaders in the world will rip you off. And for example, if the payment cycles in India are instead of 30 to 40 days, 45 days, they are 45 days to 3 months in India. So if you are getting money late from your customers, but you are paying your vendors faster because you believe in the corporate easy money kind of theory, very soon you will be under tremendous amount of pressure. So you have to do it as the market is doing it, which means having a lot of discipline and understanding how the market works in a particular sector. And setbacks and failures are inevitable in the world of entrepreneurship. So to overcome these challenges, it is essential to have a growth mindset, stay focused on your goals, continuously learn from the experiences. And one has to remember that failure is an opportunity to learn and grow, not a reason to give up. The challenges of entrepreneurship can be overcome with the right strategies and mindset. And by addressing the challenges of lack of capital, competition, time management, balancing work and life, managing people, and overcoming setbacks and failures, entrepreneurs can achieve long term growth and success. With the determination, perseverance, and a positive attitude, you can turn your ideas into a thriving business and make your mark in the world.
I'm sure, sir, our audience will learn something from what all you said. Now, coming on to the question that was raised in the chat box by Myra, stating, "Sir, I would like to know about the internships and jobs you completed before you choose to start your business."
I'll mention again. I worked for financial advisory in Deloitte and Touche, and I was doing private equity, due diligence, valuation, all kinds of things there. And then I joined Brand Capital, which is Times of India's venture arm, and we invested 100 crores in six companies. I was part of the team which did that. And post that, I joined Aircel Treasury. Aircel was a telecom company, around 15,000 crore treasury. Learned forex transactions, how to make investments in liquid funds, mutual funds, how to arrange debt, like 20,000 crore debt and 10,000 crore debt, and managing the debt flow, and also letter of credit and bank guarantees and cash flow management, how to manage the cash flow of the company so that you don't run out of cash. And all those things were part of treasury operations at Aircel. And then I was head of treasury and corporate finance at the Russian telecom company MTS. Raised $2.5 billion for them in 3 years because they needed a lot of debt at that time and they were not getting it. So that's what I did. And then I was chief financial officer of Distribution Logistics, which was a logistics company owned by Guggenheim Partners, the American private equity fund. And a CFO has to deal with everything, right? From accounts to forex to letter of credit, non-funds, to cash management, to debt, raising equity, corporate finance, and dealing with banks, private equity funds, dealing with rating agencies. So CFO has to do everything. So that's what I did.
Thank you, sir, for answering. And I hope your question was answered, Myra. So the next question is by Usha Gupta. Sir, will a MBA help me become a better entrepreneur, or does any entrepreneur not really need a degree or experience and just a great viable idea?
So, I mean, if you look at people like Mark Zuckerberg who say degree is not required, and they say leave the college in between, start entrepreneurship, it is all bullshit because more than 95% of the people who did successful startups actually completed their degrees. And it is not about having a piece of paper in your hand. It is about the knowledge. And Mark Zuckerberg he was looking for the right idea, and within college itself, he was looking for something which will become big in the future. So he had the entrepreneurial mindset, and he knew technology. So I'm sure that given a chance, he would have completed his degree. So it's just that Facebook started growing so fast that he thought that I found the business I want to be doing. So my advice to you is, um, first understand what MBA will teach you. I mean, all our uh, spiritual texts like Mahabharata and Bhagavad Gita and Ramayana, they are case study based. They teach you from the example of what these people did in what kind of situation. And just human beings get these situations, so even gods get these situations. So those are case studies. So if your MBA is teaching you via case studies, do it. Otherwise, if it is not teaching you via case studies, then do a job for 1 or 2 years and then do your MBA, so that it makes sense to you, that why are we learning about a particular management theory, why are we learning about a particular philosophy. So it has to make practical sense. And I see a lot of IM people. I've given talks in IMs also, and they believe in those case studies. They discuss these case studies, like they fight it out and discover new ideas and brainstorm, and that's what real MBA is about. So you should be very sure why you want to do an MBA. If you are in a technical field, then you don't need to do an MBA. If you are into a design field, then you need to do something in design. If you are into literature, you need to do that. So just don't blindly do an MBA. Do it with a purpose, and definitely it helps. And taking a degree also helps throughout your life. So it is a very valuable asset, but do it for the right reason.
Thank you, sir, for answering, and I hope your question was also answered, Usha. Thank you for all the viewers for the active participation in this event and making it an interactive one. Moving on to the next question by Harsh Roy. Sir, as you said that you also had many failures in your journey. So what do you think are the major reasons nowadays for the early failures in the startup ideas?
Because see, you have to validate the idea. Um, an idea, whether it is implementable, whether people will pay for it. So, you have an idea that I will create a platform, and this platform will have all the things in the world. So, first of all, whether people will like to come to a new platform believing that they will get everything, and as soon as they find out that the platform is not performing on all the areas, they will immediately leave it. So there is no customer loyalty, in real world. So this is an example which I am giving you, that that you need to be very sure as to why you are creating a particular business. And that's why the terms which we use: proof of concept, minimum viable product, product market fit, these are buzzwords which you should understand, that if you are systematically trying to achieve a product market fit, then surely you will tick all the right boxes to arrive at a product which customer wants to buy and wants to pay for. And that's why doing it through the right process is important. For example, now you say you will create a pen which is made of paper and not made of plastic. Now the thing is, the this pen will cost more than a plastic pen. Now most of the people in this world, they don't care a damn whether they are saving 2 rupees or 3 rupees on a pen. And probably 10% of the people would be aware about it. So you will need to spend on creating awareness. So that will add to your marketing cost. So I'm not saying you don't do it. You do something for the environment, correct. That's absolutely correct. But it should make business sense. And for that, you have to follow the process like primary research in the market, secondary research in the market, and then launching a product, then finding at what price it can sell. Then maybe you have to create three varieties, one for people who can pay less, one with some additional features so that people can pay more. And so you have to do all those things to create a viable business, and that's how you validate your idea, and that's how you create a business which can go in the long term.
Thank you, sir, for all the great answers. I hope all the viewers are satisfied with the answers. Now I would like to ask you a question. As you are a role model to many entrepreneurs today, who was your role model growing up, and what all philosophies do you personally believe in to become successful?
Well, my role model while growing up was like, entrepreneurship is not only about making money. Even people in different walks of life can display entrepreneurial traits. That's what I told you, that if you're doing a job with an entrepreneur's mindset, that is a real job you can do. So, I was in college, and Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee, our prime minister, uh, and he did those things which India could never even think of. And the same legacy is being carried by our Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, in today's times. Like, our highways minister, Mr. Gadkari, the kind of road construction he has done, people couldn't have even imagined. And that's in politics. But in business, I admire those businessmen who didn't succumb to temptation. So, in 2009 and 2013, 9 to 13, the government of that day was distributing loans like mindlessly. They were saying, take loans, put it in the economy, take 5,000 crore, take 20,000 crore. And a large number of businessmen succumbed to it. They took that loans knowing they can't pay it back. So they siphoned off a large part of that money. And 20 lakh crore worth of loans were given from public sector banks for the wrong reasons. But Tata's never succumbed. The owner of Yes Bank, Mr. Rana Kapoor, succumbed. The chairman of ICICI, Chanda Kochar, succumbed. But Tata's never succumbed. They have been in India in business since the last 200 years. That's what ability is, not succumbing to greed. And that's what I admire. And people say that Bill Gates is the biggest philanthropist in the world. Actually, the amount which Jamshedji Tata, the founder of Tata family business, the amount he gave as philanthropy is more than what Bill Gates has given. Mr. Jamshedji Tata is the number one philanthropist in the whole world. He set up, Tata Group set up India's first airline, India's first steel city, Indian Institute of Science, which till today ranks in the top 100 in the world, Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, the Energy and Resources Institute, the JRD Tata Eco Technology Center, the National Center for Performing Arts. All those were give back to the society. So that's what I admire. And I feel that end of the day, you will not take your money after your death. So you have to give it back in some way or the other. So give it back the way Tatas have done.
I completely agree with you, sir. So, as you know, decision making ability is one of the key concepts of being a successful leader or a manager. Can you share an example of a different decision you had to make as an entrepreneur, and how did you arrive at that decision?
Well, I was running a profitable business in 2014 to 16. and it was very difficult for me to leave that and start a finance business, because that business was, I was doing marketing there, which is not my calling. My calling is finance. So I left that and I started Consultancy Ventures, and I had a great passion for venture capital. And other times in my business, for example, there have been people in my company who were very dependent on their designations to do the work they did. And I always believe in young blood. So I took a lot of youngsters who had really good ideas. Sometimes I have to let go of people, and those were difficult decisions. And also to spend, I have spent extraordinary amount of time mentoring and training traditional businessmen to adopt to new ways of learning the startup phenomena. And it's a mindset change which is required, which takes a lot of effort. It requires you to really go deep and understand the other person's frame of mind, and it saps your energy a lot. It's not easy, kind of a thankless job also, because a lot of people will not really understand why you are doing something, and in their benefit. And one of the things which was difficult for me in terms of making a decision was to delegate work and not go after perfection, that, I am the perfect guy, I do the perfect way, so I do it myself. So, no, you have to delegate. And those are some of the difficult decisions.
That was indeed very helpful, sir. Thank you. So, over the years, you have supported startups and growth stage companies in diverse sectors like edtech, fintech, consumer B2C, B2B, and D2C, agri-tech, etc. What things do you look into when choosing to support a certain venture?
Well, there are uh, basically people feel it's a science to actually make an investment, but you have to follow your heart, and understand some things, some basic things like, founders' background, and what technology they are bringing to the table. How humble are the founders? As an investor, you stay with the founders for 5 to 10 years. So, you have to really like them. They have to have the qualities, and passion and commitment of the founders. And also, I study the financials and valuations before picking up a deal. The first thing, which I look is existing sector, whether the sector is having some growth, and whether the company is has already achieved its product market fit. The second thing is the team, and if the team is together for a reason and not only together in the short term, because team click in the long term. And whether the team is serious about incorporating features which can make the business go viral, like technology. If the team believes in technology, then only they will be serious about deploying it and spending on it. And the third thing is how much amount they're asking for, and how it will be used, and what will that investment achieve. So these broadly these things, but of course we also look at the market size, because we don't want to be the, invested in a company which is number one in the market, but the market size is very small. So the valuations will never come. So of course we look at other things like market size, and also the founder market fit, the capability of the founders to understand a particular sector, and how execution can be done in that sector.
That was really an informative answer, sir. So, how would you define your personality trait? Like, what all skills or personality traits should the entrepreneurs of today possess in order to make it big in this competitive world?
Well, first of all, you should be very clear why you want to do entrepreneurship. It's you can have a simple life, right? I mean, you can take a government job, uh, you can take a private job, or you can emigrate to a very cool and simple kind of country like Canada or Australia, where life is very simple, very less population, and stable salaries, and a lot of free time. People work 3 to 4 days a week. After 4 o'clock, people don't work in the evening. But entrepreneurship, if you are taking, you have to be pretty serious about it. And my personality trait was that I have kind of an eagle eye to select the right opportunities, and I'm a straightforward person, and little bit humble, little bit too humble rather, and down to earth. So, but I have a good sense of humor, so I build relationships, and that's what keeps me going. And in terms of my knowledge, I have really taken pains to keep myself updated, be it finance or the spaces in which I work in. And entrepreneurs of today, they need motivation to constantly push their skills to stay relevant in a dynamic market. And to build motivation, you can start by looking at things at the micro level, and set and achieve small goals to build a ladder towards the larger ones. Maintain morale and confidence throughout your journey. Celebrate your small wins and keep a positive mindset. And optimism facilitates creativity. When coupled with motivation, it enables to develop new concepts and ideas. So use every opportunity or failure to analyze your shortcomings and take conscious measures to avoid them in the future. Entrepreneurs are dreamers with a plan of action. Keep your end goals in mind to stay motivated. And you have to do the hard skills also, which is like constantly studying the market, and know what products or services they want to offer, what's their target audience, what's the profile of a typical customer who will buy their products or services, and clearly identify the category of your products and services, and be very clear about how they will be beneficial to your customers, and talking to clients, using their feedback to make changes and adjust your position as and when required. So these are the soft and the hard skills which are, entrepreneurs of today should possess.
That was, I totally agree, and that was really helpful, sir. So, a question from a viewer, Laksh Gupta. Your stories are inspiring, sir. Could you please tell us the average working hours in life of an entrepreneur and tips to stay committed to cause in face of adversity?
Uh, I'm sorry, you are asking for how to stay grounded in terms of adversity.
Yes.
So first of all, don't take life for granted. Don't feel that just because your mother treated you so nicely, your father made sure that you always have money for your studies and for your friends, and your sister always help you out, in challenging situations. Don't assume that life will be the same. uh, you know, uh, we are living in times where population is more, especially in India. Jobs are less, businesses are competitive, uh, and the factors which affect businesses are, although they have become better, but still, these are very challenging times. Markets move suddenly. Suddenly, COVID comes. 60% of the businesses close down. uh, you know, uh, Imagine someone who had put money in Silicon Valley Bank, and suddenly get to know the bank has gone down, and all your money is in that bank. So, it took 5 days for the US government to ensure the deposits of those people. Imagine if they hadn't done so. So, so if you are not grounded, I'll really advise you something. It might seem to you like very old age kind of advice, form, realize your spiritual side. All of us are, born with certain spiritual side, which is that we are innately want to be happy. We innately want others to be happy. We want to be joyful. We want mental peace. We love the sound of the rain. We love the sound of the sand during a rain, right? So, all those things are in all of us, but we have to realize it. And if we start realizing our true self, we form a spiritual dimension to ourselves, and not only running in life to earn more money, buy more things, and then buy a bigger house, then buy a bigger car, and then, neglecting your health, neglecting your peace of mind, neglecting the joys of life, like used to sing in college, used to dance in college, used to play sports in college. Suddenly you feel, no, they are not my priority because I have to earn money. So, always keep that side of you alive, because it becomes dead in no time. And we start identifying with the thing we do, the job we do, the business we do, and stop identifying as a person. What gives us joy? Uh, Smiling with your friends, spending a good time with your friends, and so, all those things you keep alive. So your stability will always be there, whether life is up or down. You will have your spiritual side alive in you, and you will there is a god dimension, which our religious or spiritual leaders, they try and teach us that, there is a god dimension in us. Buddha used to say he's not a god. Buddha used to say we are all capable of becoming godlike. That is the highest sense of consciousness, where we feel bliss and happiness. So you have to do meditation, pranayama, yoga, uh, do what you love, and that side of you will be alive. You will be able to face the entire life, go to job in time, come back in time, and give time to your family, to your friends, and all that will give you happiness if you have your spiritual side alive. But for that you have to believe in it. You don't have to say, "Ye pata nahi, this is jhad fook and this is some crazy stuff and God is not there. Nobody has seen God." And you have to believe, not be religious, but be spiritual, and that will bring out the humanity in you and attract the right kind of people, and you will be able to deal with life happily.
That was such an inspiring answer, sir. I hope your question was answered, Laksh. So, I really wanted to ask you, what does success mean to you? Or how do you measure success? Is success the most important aspect that an entrepreneur should aim for?
Well, success to me is doing what you love and being authentic while doing it, not artificial. We all require meaning in our life, and I believe you are successful when you have found that purpose and commit your life to it. Some people say, why was Earth born in this dark universe where there are fires and a lot of space, empty space? Why was Earth born? And then people have all kind of theories, and some, and why was humanity born? And then, so the reality is, frankly, there is no purpose for Earth to be there, no purpose for humanity to be there. So the if something makes you happy and you do it at an excellence level over a period of time, that is your calling, and that is your purpose. And there is no larger purpose, and you have to form your own purpose. And some of the way that you can measure success is like, discover your core values, ask yourself key question, outline a strategy, manage your calendar, prioritize the importance of tasks, and track digital trails. Utilize peer reviews, your peers. Keep regularly scheduled performance evaluations with your manager so that you are not loosening up. And send feedback form to clients so that you know where you are not going right. And taking risks is most important. And one of the most important features of entrepreneurship is that the whole business is run and managed by one person. So there is no one to share the risks with. Not taking any risk can stagnate a business, and excessive impulsive risk taking can cause losses. So, uh, follow all these traits, this definition of success, and you will do very
That was such a great answer, sir. Thank you for all your questions today. It's time to bring this session to a close. It was a pleasure speaking with you, sir, and I hope everyone had a great learning experience. As we come to an end, I would really like to ask you to fill out all the feedback forms shared in the chat so that we can improve for the next time. We would really like to express our gratitude to everyone who joined us and made this session a success. This marks the end of the event and our series from side hustles to CEO. But we assure you that we'll be back with more exciting events. Till then, stay connected with us through our WhatsApp community to receive updates on future events. Stay tuned for our upcoming YouTube videos by following us on LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube. And we have just shared a link of Sir's LinkedIn profile on our chat box. Do follow him for further informatives. I would really like to thank you all for this session. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you so much. I would love to be added and be in your network on LinkedIn. This is my LinkedIn profile. So if you all can send me a ad request, I'll be happy to add. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you Kamya, and thank you Team Reverr for this podcast today.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Good day.